Okay, get ready for a stupidly long name. This cube is the MoYu WeiLong WRM 2021. Why did these names have to be so long? This cube is my new main. I love it. It's not just because it has super fast and smooth turning. It's that I can adjust it to my preferences at the time. So this cube under the center cap has a screw and the blue thing around it. I'll talk about what each of those things do, as well as the magnets and what you should lube this cube with, because not every lube goes into this cube well. Turning of this cube is super fast and smooth. It's just really, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like the RS3M 2020, but less, how do you explain it? Blocky? Because this one feels like I'm not in control of all of it, where this one, super fast, super smooth, and it's not as blocky. Also, if you're wondering what this is, it's a stand. So, if we go under the center cap again, the screw, out of the box, the screw settings are decently good. If it's too fast, or you can probably tighten it a bit. And if it's too slow, you think you can loosen it. But I think the screw settings out of the box are pretty good. I only adjusted them a tiny bit. I loosened them by 1/4 turn. But that's it. And what you do on this side, make sure you do on all 6 sides. And the only thing I think I would change is this blue thing around it. So if you can see this you can actually move around I like using the screwdriver, or if I'm too lazy to bring that around, I use my fingernail. And you can move this around. I believe it's 8 settings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 settings. So this is the highest setting, because if you see with the blue teeth, I'll point with a screwdriver since it's easier. This, if you see that will go over the edge and to the bottom if I go one more click. This is where the springs would be the strongest. So this side would feel a lot slower and have a lot more friction than the other side. So this side, super fast. This side, not as fast. But I would not recommend going to the highest setting, as I do not think it's worth it. I used the lowest setting on all 6 sides, and I think that's the only way this cube is good is if you play it to its strengths, and its strengths is being fast. Okay, now on to the magnets. So this cube comes with magnets in it to help align your turning and stabilize the cube. Mostly to stabilize the cube, unless you have like the GAN 12 or something, then the magnets are just insane. So you can change it with either the tool that comes in the accessory box, which is this black thing, which you put in the little hole in there, if you can see it. There it is. And you twist clockwise. But I find that really, really hard, and the tool actually breaks after a while, so I recommend using a small flathead screwdriver. I don't know where I got this from. I think it was from, like, I'm trying to recall. I think it's from, like, the GAN 356. I don't know. But you can put this in the hole, and it's a lot easier. And there are numbers around it. I don't know how well you can see it. There, you can see it a bit better. So 1 is the highest setting, which means the strongest magnet strength, and 5 is the weakest, which means the least magnet strength. And the stronger the magnets are, the more stable the cube is. For a rough guideline, I have, under the center cap, I have the blue thing set to the lowest setting, the magnet strength set to 1, and when you pull apart at the edges, it's about this much for the screw depth. Make sure it's equal on all 6 sides. Now I'm going to talk about the lube, because if you don't lube this, then it's trash. Maybe the cube's not trash, but it won't be as good. So I recommend lubing this cube with DNM 37 and Mystic from thecubicle.com. I've tried some Speed Cube Shop lubes in this. It's not too good. So I highly recommend these for this cube, which is the WeiLong WRM 2021. It is not the maglev version. So this is only good for the one with the springs, which is the non-maglev version. So DNM 37 makes the cube way faster, and Mystic makes the cube a bit more glidey and like gummy. I don't really know how to describe it. And for the core lube, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you go under the center cap, you lube, you either take out the screw, or if you're lazy like me, you lube under the screw, like you put the lube dispenser there. Wish I had some lube with me, but like, here's a pen. I would put the syringe or dropper right there, and I would squeeze or press down on the syringe. And that's how I lubed the cube. I put in like 70 billion drops of DNM 37. This one's not opened. I have an opened one somewhere. And, oh! Yes, here it is. So, before I started lubing the cube, it was about this high, and now it's that high. So, I put a crazy amount of DNM 37 in here. I put a small amount of Mystic, just to make it a bit better. But, that's what I did to this cube. I mean, it's really good now. It's definitely my main. And I highly recommend getting this cube if you really like fast cubes that you don't mind if they're a bit less controllable. I mean, like, this cube is still very controllable. Like, look at this. That was very controllable. So it's fast, it's controllable. It's overall a great cube. If you don't know what cube to get, either get the RS3M 2020, which is much cheaper, but the WeiLong WRM is a lot quieter, it's much faster, the corner cutting is insane. Like, look at this. That was a bad example. Like, look at that. Line to line. And then reverse. That's as much as you'll ever need. But I have one small complaint about this. Actually, it's not really a complaint. I actually kind of like it. It is slightly smaller. Okay. It's slightly smaller than the RS3M 2020, which was my previous main. So that's one disadvantage about this cube for some people. But I have pretty small hands. So I think that's an advantage for me. Yeah, this cube just feels massive now. Yes, I'm using a J per million one. That's the only one I have lying around. But I highly recommend this cube if you're sort of into cubing, like intermediate level. But yeah, that's it for this cube, I think. So thank you for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.